Hey, what's up folks, this is Shaheel, and in this video we're going to be covering about the OnePlus Nord. So a few videos back I had made a video about the OnePlus Nord on this channel, but that was more kind of like a spec talk and my thoughts, that kind of video. But in this video I got a chance to use the OnePlus Nord in person. So this is my OnePlus Nord first impressions or overview if you take it that way. So the day I got the OnePlus Nord, I had uploaded an IG story. So if you aren't following me on Instagram, make sure to do that. Links are in the description down below. With that out of the way, let me tell you that this video is not a full-on review of the OnePlus Nord. Rather, like I mentioned, this is a first impression or an overview video because I didn't get to use the phone long enough for a full-on review. So just take it that way. So now that it's clear, let's focus on the OnePlus Nord. So the design of this phone is pretty impressive. Actually, I like the blue color more than what I saw in the images. When I saw all those images of the OnePlus Nord, I thought that the blue color was not all that pretty. But then, using a phone is way different than seeing it in pictures, so I kinda dig the blue color. Plus, if I get a dark color in any phone, I'd pick that over blue or red or yellow or pink or any other color. Just give me a dark color and it's my favorite. Other than that, let's talk about the display of this phone, which you'll be looking at most of the time using this phone. It's a 6.44-inch Fluid AMOLED panel. The colors are amazing, sharp, and on point in this display. Actually, you'd rather get all the benefits of an AMOLED panel, and you kinda know that if you're looking for an AMOLED panel, this is an amazing panel. Kinda loving the colors. Other than that, there's a 90Hz refresh rate in this display. Actually, coming from 60Hz, I didn't feel much of a difference when using this. But still, 60Hz is a bit slow if you get used to 90Hz. The only area where I found out the 60Hz to be, a bit slow is when scrolling. On the left side, you get the volume rockers. On the right side, you have the power button and alert slider, which can be used for ring, vibration, and silent. And you know what? All the manufacturers should include this kind of design in their phone. Alert slider, super convenient. Thumbs up, OnePlus. On the bottom, you get the speakers, and the speakers are on point. I like that it's loud. Actually, when you use the speakers in 60 to 70% volume, you get adequate volume when you listen to music, and for ringers, even 70% is more than enough if you have your phone nearby. And then there's a Type-C port, which actually supports Warp Charge 30T, which I'll be talking more in the end of the video. So stick around until the end of the video to know more about the warp charging. But however, all that perks come for a price, and that is the plastic frame of this phone. Actually, the plastic does not seem all that cheap like when I saw in the reviews. If you don't know, or if you didn't actually know that it's plastic, you won't actually understand that it's plastic because they gave it an aluminium like metal kind of touch. Nevertheless, the buttons are metal, so you get that clicky tactile feedback, if you like to call it that. However, the front and the back of this phone is glass, so you won't sacrifice any quality in the shining there. Inside of this phone is the Snapdragon 765G, and you don't get an 800 series chip in this phone like I mentioned in the spec talk video. That will make this phone a real flagship killer with air quotes, and it will kill the sales of the OnePlus flagship, the OnePlus 8. So maybe that is why it's not present in this phone. However, the 90Hz is kind of a cover-up for that. So when you're actually using the phone, because there's that 90Hz refresh rate, 90Hz smoothness, you won't actually notice that performance jump from 800 series to 700 series chipset. This phone is running on Android 10 and it's running on the OnePlus OS 10.5 UI, and it's pretty close to stock Android skin. This phone has 8GB of RAM and 128GB of storage. That is the variant which I'm holding right now. Other than that, you get quad cameras on the back. So there's a 48 megapixel main sensor. Actually, there's the same sensor as the OnePlus 8, the Sony IMX586. But there must be some kind of software trickery which is not letting the OnePlus Nord perform like OnePlus 8, because again, it would make the OnePlus 8 pointless. So the camera app itself warns you that the dynamic range is not going to be that great when using all the 48 megapixel. Actually, the photos are real sharp in 48 megapixel, but then again, dynamic range is a whole different story. And the secondary camera is an 8 megapixel ultra wide camera. It has 119 degrees of field of view. It's amazing. It's actually way wider than I expected. Photos are fairly sharp. It's a bit soft around the corner at times. But then again, it's kind of great for the price. There's a 5 megapixel depth camera and a 2 megapixel macro. Both of these cameras I don't find a use because depth camera is of no point, even if it's capturing more data. Portrait mode still depends on the software, so I don't see why OnePlus put that. And the macro camera, well, the camera doesn't even automatically switch to the macro mode. You kind of have to go to the settings and then turn on super macros or something to actually use the macro sensor. So I don't find use for these two sensors, rather it's for the namesake of quad cameras in air quotes. You get dual selfie cameras in this phone, a 32 megapixel main sensor and an 8 megapixel ultra wide sensor. The 32 megapixel sensor has actually been performing very well than I expected. The colors are actually very good. I actually like the results that I'm getting out of it. The photos are very sharp and I kinda like the overall theme that OnePlus is going with. The ultra wide camera is amazing. It's actually way better that you have this camera. If you're going for group selfies and all that, this is a life-saving feature. You kinda don't have to carry around your selfie stick. The biometric technology that they used in this phone is the under-screen optical fingerprint scanning. So, the under-screen optical fingerprint scanner is actually very fast and responsive. It unlocks every time I try to. I didn't actually feel any kind of stutter or lag when using this. You also have face unlock at your disposal. Face unlock is also convenient, but also it requires a swipe to unlock once it recognizes your face. So that's a convenience factor. Anyway, I hope OnePlus fixes that. To power all of these said things, they use a 4115 mAh battery in the OnePlus Nord. It is actually a fairly sized battery, and I think that it's way okay for this price range. Actually, I kind of used the phone in light usage, not that hard usage, and the phone lasted me from day to night without needing to charge. And talking about charging, it has the Warp Charge 30T by OnePlus. It actually charges the phone to 70% in just 30 minutes. So that is way more than enough if you lose power and then you want to have a quick charge. 30 watt. Amazing. Now let's talk about the pricing of this phone. The base variant costs 6GB RAM and 64GB storage, and it costs about $335. And then a bit higher variant, it's actually 8GB RAM and 128GB variant, like I talked. This is the variant that I used. So it's going for around $380, which is the converted price from India. And then there's a highest variant, 12GB RAM, 256GB storage. It's actually going for around $400. So at the end, OnePlus Nord is a really great pick for those who are looking for a phone in the $350 price segment. And if you want a phone that can serve you for a long time with fast updates and long-term updates, OnePlus's OS is really known for that. And in fact, the OnePlus 5 from 2017 is still rocking the latest Android 10. Not only that, with the specs of this phone, it can serve you for almost 2 to 3 years if you're not into upgrading phones really fast and quick. And honestly, considering this price range of the OnePlus Nord, there's really nothing to blame in this phone. And that makes the OnePlus Nord a really great pick in this price range for anyone looking for this kind of phone. Overall, OnePlus Nord, I guess from a premium manufacturer like OnePlus, this is pretty much all you could ever ask for in a budget phone. That's pretty much it for this video. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up and comment down below about your thoughts on the OnePlus Nord and if I have missed something. And if you have any doubts on the OnePlus Nord, I can sure reply to your comments if you do comment in the comment section down below. Other than that, last but not least, subscribe to this channel for more amazing content just like this. And until we meet the next time, goodbye.